So, is s greater than 0? A lot of this depends on the value of x in this question. So we have s equals x to the third plus 3 to the x. So if x is a positive number 1 or greater, then this whole thing is going to be positive and greater than 1, then s is greater than 0. If s is a negative fraction, this will be a very if x is a negative fraction, so negative and less than, I guess I want greater than, negative and the absolute value will be less than 1. Let's see, there we go. If it's a negative fraction, x to the third will be a very, very small negative fraction, and then this will be added to 3 raised to a a negative fraction, which will still be a number larger than the tiny fraction of x to the third. So if x is a negative fraction, then s will still be greater than 0. However, if x is simply a big negative number, then x to the third will be a very, very negative number because it stays negative, it's an odd power, and then adding 3 to that just to the x power will result in a negative number, and s will be less than 0. So we need to find out more about s. Statement 1 tells us that x is less than 0, but remember we have two different ways that this can work out depending on whether x is a fraction or not. So this is not sufficient on its own. We get rid of answer choices A and D. Statement 2 tells us that the absolute value of x is greater than 1, which tells us that x is either a very big, or where very big is greater than 1, not a fraction. It either tells us that it's a big negative number or a positive number, but then we still have two values there, or two answers to regarding whether s is greater or less than 0, so that's not sufficient. In conjunction with x being definitely negative, we cross off this, and its absolute value is greater than 1, we cross off this. That means that x must be a negative number larger than more negative than negative 1, which is actually less than negative 1. And then s is definitely less than 0, so the two statements in conjunction are sufficient to tell us no. Answer choice C.